Kansas State and Oklahoma State. The K-State fans will be disappointed to hear this news. Edward Ashoff down on the field, third member of our broadcast team. Disappointing injury news right off the top here for K-State, Ed.
Yeah, guys, wide receiver Malik Knowles did not make the trip because of injury, which is a big loss for the Wildcats. Offensive coordinator Scott Hazelton likes to put him all over the field and said that he's a guy who can really stretch defenses. Now, keep an eye on guys like Joaquin Gill, Joshua Knoll to come in and replace him. But remember, he's also a dynamic kick returner, a guy who took one to the house 100 yards against Mississippi State. So a big loss for Kansas State.
Absolutely. That's a gut punch right out of the gate for them. Special player, even though he's a redshirt freshman. We'll see how Chris Kleiman's team reacts to that.
Yeah, but they've known all week, and so they've got other guys that they've gotten ready for this game. And watching the Wildcats play, they got a next man up philosophy, and they roll a lot of guys through. So they're going to miss Knowles for sure, but they have other guys who can do those things as well.
Kansas State won the toss and deferred, so K-State wearing the white will kick off. This is Ty Zentner, his fifth kickoff of the season. The three of the first four have gone for touchbacks, and this one will as well. So it'll come out to the 25. For the Oklahoma State offense, and redshirt freshman Spencer Sanders, number 3. He's a special player, though a young one, Red.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He is extremely fast when he runs the football. He ran it, 18 times last week. He carried the ball. They don't want him carrying it that many times, and he's got a great arm, very accurate on the deep ball. He's a redshirt freshman, still makes some young guy type mistakes, but he's exciting to watch.
So 18 carries, went for 109 yards last week. Play fake, he throws, looks for Tylan Wallace, and a catch at the 45. He's all the way to midfield, where he is brought down there. A 25-yard gain on the first play of the game.
Yeah, a little run-pass option, popped it right into that hole.
The tempo we'll see all night, but reading that very well, and coming in is Wyatt Hubbard for the sack and a loss of 8 yards.
And Hubbard didn't play last week. He was injured, and to get him back, Scotty Hazelton, the defensive coordinator, was telling us that's a big thing for our defense, and you saw why right there.
Yeah, he said he needs a big game from Hubbard, and right out of the chute on the second play of the game, he gets his 9.5 tackle for loss on the season. Puts Oklahoma State behind the chains at 2nd and 18, rolling out. Sanders towards the sideline, turns upfield, and the defender got a little piece of him. Reggie Walker, he was able to advance for about 4 yards.
I'm surprised Walker got something on him. He must have taken a good angle, because when Spencer Sanders turns the corner, he's a threat to go all the way to the house. And I love how he had his eyes down the field, still trying to make a play with his arm.
So a 3rd and 13 on this first possession for Oklahoma State from their own 47.
All that look of pressure coming.
Sanders looked left, now looks right. Now he's flushed out, rolling towards the boundary. Now wants to run and steps out of bounds right at midfield, or just into K-State territory at the 49. Picks up 4, but it's going to be 4th down.
Great coverage in the back end by the Wildcat defense. There was absolutely nowhere for Sanders to go with the football, and sometimes he'll try to stick it into Tylan Wallace. Even if he's covered, he was too well covered that time.
Tom Hutton comes on to punt for Oklahoma State. And how about K-State, Ray? That first play right out of the bucket for Oklahoma State was the completion to Wallace, but they bounced back and forced the punt.
And Mike Gundy told us he thought this Kansas State defense is one of the best in the conference.
Phillip Brooks back to receive this punt for K-State, calling for a fair catch. It takes it at the 6. So a 44-yard punt with no return. And the Kansas State offense, for their first possession of the game, will not have very good starting field position, but a very dynamic junior quarterback, Skylar Thompson.
And he's got a couple of big tight ends that really are a linchpin to this offense. And he'll try to get the ball to him. Talked about Skylar at the top. I am so impressed with his composure. Coach told us he's got the it factor, and when you watch him play a little bit, you'll see manifestation of that right away. He's just in complete control, does a great job changing plays at the line to get them out of bad situations.
Again, no Malik Knowles for Kansas State. He fakes the handoff to Gilbert from his own end zone, rolling out. Thompson now coming towards the sideline, gives a stiff arm, but he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. no gain on the first possession. Jarek Bernard was the defensive back who came up to put the pressure on the quarterback.
Good coverage in the back end by Oklahoma State. And, you know, do you get the feeling this might be a defensive type ball game here early?
Well, these teams last year played in Manhattan, and it was 6-3 at the half. We'll see what kind of half we get here.
Unbalanced line again.
Here's the pitch. James Gilbert spun around and spun down at the 10. He gains about 3. Trey Sterling, number 3, came up for the Cowboys to bring him down.
Sterling, a safety who plays close to the line of scrimmage. I mean, I'm going to call him an honorary linebacker, especially after that play he just made right there, closing fast and making a sure tackle.
And a 3rd and 7 for K-State. And if this is the type of night, a lot of 3rd and longs for K-State, it's going to be a tough night for K-State.
That's not where they want to be. 3rd and 3 is right in their wheelhouse. 3rd and 7, that's not so much.
Schoen, Brooks, as well as Joaquin Gill, the receivers. Thompson now feeling pressure, dumps it off, looking for the back out of the backfield. Gilbert, but incomplete, shy of the 15. On the coverage, Jarek Bernard. And a 3 and out on the first possession for the Wildcats.
Good coverage all over the field again. We've seen both secondaries so far stand up and glove people. There was really nowhere to get it, and had Gilbert even caught that football, he'd have been short of the yard to gain.
So senior Devin Anktel, the punter, comes on and have to punt out of his own end zone. Dylan Stoner standing at midfield for Oklahoma State. Pretty good punt and a fair catch called for. Takes Stoner back to his own 43-yard line. And that's where Oklahoma State will have their second possession after a 47-yard punt by Anktel. Welcome back to College Football Primetime on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Second possession for Oklahoma State coming up. We score this game. We need to mention this, Ray. Injuries have caused a shuffling on the offensive line for the Cowboys tonight.
Yeah, the left guard, Marcus Keys, is the only one starting in his normal position. They moved the starting center over to left guard. That's Johnny Wilson. And Rye Schneider gets his second career start. And then Hunter Anthony, first career start over at right tackle. This is a young, inexperienced line. We'll see if this affects their ability to move the football.
So the only lineman starting in the same spot that they did last week is Marcus Keys. Everybody else has shuffled around.
Keys is a beast, though. If you want one guy to stay in there, it's Marcus Keys.
Second possession for the Cowboys. They fake the jet sweep to Wallace, and then a shovel pass underneath. That goes nowhere.
That's because Trey Deshawn was sitting right in the pocket of the tight end, and a late flag comes in after the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56, defense, taunting by standing over the player. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
You see the big tight end, Woods. He gets the ball, and this is a great play by Deshawn, but then you can't stand over and talk at him, which is exactly what Wyatt Hubbard did.
That cost him 15 yards and a first down now for the Cowboys at the 44-yard line at K-State. So what was a nice defensive play for the Wildcats erased thanks to the personal foul. Here's the pass by Sanders, and it's over the head of the intended receiver.
They tried to get that one into Braden Johnson, and it was another, I can't tell yet if it's play action or if it's an RPO, but either way, it was errant.
Sanders fires for Wallace, too high, incomplete. Pressure was coming. And K-State able to get a little heat there on Sanders.
Yeah, Scotty Hazelton, the defensive coordinator, dials up a blitz off the edge. And I got to believe Spencer Sanders threw that one away because of the pressure.
So a third down and 10 for the Pokes. Still at the 44 of the Wildcats.
They got that pressure look again. We'll see if they drop out.
Sanders. He's ripped down by Reggie Walker, and after the personal foul penalty, the K-State defense stiffens once again. And it's 4th down.
The safety did blitz Wayne Jones. He's the one who shoots through and changes the running back's course. Watch him. He's unblocked, flying right up in here. Just misses the quarterback. And then a nice retrace by Reggie Walker to get the tackle.
Second punt of the game for Tom Hutton. Phillip Brooks standing inside his own 10. Well, one of the key questions of this game, Ray, was going to be how the K-State defense handled the up-tempo offense of Oklahoma State. As his fair catch made it to 14th. So far, the returns are good for the K-State defense.
Yeah, but they'll wear you out.
Yeah.
It's a long afternoon.
It is a long game ahead. Back onto the field comes Skylar Thompson. Ed Ashoff has more on the junior quarterback.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson is the ultimate leader, especially emotionally for K-State. He told me he wears his heart on his sleeve. And quarterback A.J. Parker told me that that's helped teammates really gravitate toward him. And Thompson said that he credits that to the perseverance that he had from losing his mother to cancer when he was 6. And a way that he stayed grounded and focused is by wearing the wedding ring that his mother gave his father around his neck every day, even during games. It's something that has really motivated him on and off the field.
Great story. Thanks, Ed. Jordan Brown going to be tackled for a loss of a couple of yards.
Agbang Bamiga, the linebacker, coming up with a play. These linebackers run around pretty good. Now, they played a lot of 3-man front so far. They're going to a 4-man look this week and loading up the line. And that was also a nice play by Brock Martin getting in there initially. Martin, list him as a defensive end. He's been playing middle linebacker as they transition their defense, and he showed up pretty good.
That 3-man front last week against Texas, Ray, didn't seem to give them as much pressure on the quarterback as they wanted.
No, and that's something I think they want to fix. And they've got Brock Martin on the edge now as a 4th rusher at the top.
And Thompson sees something he doesn't like, and he calls a timeout. So K-State will use their first timeout. Well, we're only a handful of weeks into the season, obviously, but take a look at the quarterback rating leaders. And Skylar Thompson is there was some pretty good company, Ray.
Yeah, and he deserves to be in there the way he has played thus far this season. You know, I mentioned he's the best one you never heard of, and you will continue to hear of him. He's just a junior, have another year, and the way he's played thus far, it's been outstanding.
They used a timeout. So they burn their first, 2nd and 12 from just outside their own 10-yard line. And Harry Trotter now in as the back. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Thompson, quick strike, finds Schoen. He is immediately dropped at the 19-yard line by Trey Sterling. That's a gain of close to 10.
And he will pick you apart. Any defender, coverage man in the secondary who is giving that big of a cushion, which is what Schoen got on that one, they will whip the ball out there in a hurry. And with Thompson's arm, it gets there in a hurry.
3rd and 5. We've only played 6 minutes just off the clock here in the first quarter in Stillwater. Thompson has time to throw, trying to find Schoen again, but overthrows him. And the good coverage that time by Rodarius Williams.
They call him Lily. His brother Greedy plays with the Browns, and he was greedy on that one. Great coverage. He just cut off the route of Schoen. There was nowhere for him to go, and Skylar Thompson had little chance to complete that one.
Devin Achtel punts with Dylan Stoner at the Oklahoma State 40. Low snap, and Achtel gets a good spiraling punt away. High punt. Taking it to 37. Stoner will be brought down just outside the 40. Once again, very good starting field position for Oklahoma State. Tyler Wallace had a 25-yard reception on the game's first play, one of the top receivers in the nation. Ed.
Yeah, and one of the best matchups we'll see tonight is between him and K-State cornerback A.J. Parker. Now, Sean Gleason's new offense has kind of taken off that deep ball a lot with Tylan Wallace. A lot of screens, a lot of short stuff that he's taken advantage of. And so I asked Parker, how do you cover this guy? You did it last year. You gave up 5 catches for 90 yards. He said, I just play my game. It's not that hard. If I go out there and play my game that I know how to play, it'll take care of itself. This is the matchup you want as a cornerback. So he's pretty fired up to face him again.
Yeah, Parker, you mentioned the numbers. No touchdowns for Wallace last year in the game in Manhattan.
It held him to 90 yards.
Well, there he is. There's Wallace. He's going to have a first down, and he's down almost to the 30. They'll mark him down at the 32-yard line of K-State, a 22-yard pickup.
Man, this ball comes out quick. Watch Spencer Sanders. He sees it, boom. He fires a rocket right into the 2 on the chest of Wallace.
Sanders going to take it himself, cuts to the outside. There's a flag down. He's run out of bounds at the 25.
Jordan McCray is going to get hit for a clip on that. Tried to stop himself, but he couldn't. Ended up blocking the defender coming up. I believe it was Walter Neal Jr.
Personal foul, face mask, number 15, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic.
Well, the official saw something else.
Yeah, I'll take all that back. My eyes, I guess I can't believe him anymore.
So against Walter Neal, yeah, he'd been banged up. He's got the matchup against McCray, who at 6'6" can be a tough matchup with his height.
Yeah, Neal just 5'9". Fade down in this area.
Hubbard. Mark him out at about the 11.
It's kind of shocking that that's the first carry for Hubbard all day. A kid who had 37 totes last week.
A career high for him. He has set career highs in carries the last 2 weeks. Where Sanders want to go, running around, and he's finally wrapped up by Elijah Sullivan. A late flag comes flying in there. Sanders doesn't seem very happy.
Frustration early on, not getting what he wants out on that edge.
Scott Campbell, our white hat tonight.
There is no foul for a personal foul on number 77. The action was deemed to happen during the course of the play.
Talking about Hunter Anthony, the tackle, and watch him come in left side of your screen. He's going to come and clean up around the pile, which is fair game. That's as close as you can get. I think he might have got away with one, and I'm sure they'll remember that.
A third down and 8. You can't get a first down without scoring. Hand off, Hubbard trying to stretch it out, spins around, and will get positive yardage out of that.
He made Walter Neal Jr. miss in the backfield, but there were just too many Wildcats running to the football, which is what they do so well.
Jordan Mitty eventually bringing him down.
And another look at, you see him just shake the defender right there with a quick spin move. He's fun to watch.
So Matt Amendola comes on to attempt 25-yard field goal from just inside the left hash.
Perfect on the year is Amendola.
6 of 6. And now make that 7 for 7 for the 50-year senior from Pennsylvania. 25-yard field goal. Oklahoma State has the game's first points with 6:12 to play in the first quarter. The Amendola 25-yard field goal has given Oklahoma State a 3-0 lead, just past the midway point of quarter one. 15th season for Mike Gundy, who was the 2011 National Coach of the Year. They made 13 consecutive bowl appearances. They've won 9 of those games. And the flow's looking good tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a mullet guy myself, and I like to say it's more of a lifestyle than it is a haircut. And Mike lives it to the fullest.
Folks, you don't hear a guy say, I'm a mullet guy myself much these days, but you just got that from Ray Bentley. Phillip Brooks from the 8. Met at the 20 and dropped there. Kansas State does not have a first down yet offensively. They'll begin outside their own 20-yard line. They have not had great starting field position.
No, and really they've been behind schedule. They're not doing well on first down, and they've just managed 8 total yards thus far. They've got to do better on first down because that keeps them on schedule with what they want to do.
So Chris Kleiman, the first-year head coach, he's trying to become the first ever K-State head coach to start a career 4-0. Got the fullback Barta in there. And a carry for James Gilbert. Going to pound it straight ahead and pick up about 3 yards. Also got the tight end moved into the backfield before the snap. We're going to see a lot of that power running game I would expect from K-State tonight.
That's what they do. They try to pound you. Coach Gundy told us he thought this was going to be a backyard brawl type thing, a very physical ball game, and that's how Coach Kleiman coaches, man. He is as physical as it gets, and it's paid off for him, as you can see.
Hasn't lost as a head coach since November 4th, 2017. South Dakota State when he was the head coach at North Dakota State. Little carry. Gilbert gets his nose stuck in there and lost the football, and Oklahoma State has it.
Brock Martin came up with it. Gilbert trying to get some extra yards, got that ball just ripped out of his arms.
There's the first turnover by the Kansas State offense this season.
That is an amazing thing in and of itself. They had 4 turnovers, but none of them on offense. Here he is. He's just trying to fight for the extra yards, and he gets caught in that scramble, and it looks like the nose tackle, Tui Halamaka, is the one who ripped it out.
Indeed, it was Tui Halamaka. And the Martin recovery gives Oklahoma State the football at the 26-yard line of the Wildcats.
And this is a sudden change for this Wildcat defense. This is where you got to really bow up and hold the offense to at least just a field goal if you want to keep some momentum in this game.
Got 3 receivers at the top of the screen, including Tylan Wallace. Put Stoner in motion, fake the jet sweep to him. Sanders throws on the move, and right as the football got to the intended receiver, Landon Wolf, he was hit by A.J. Parker. Perfect timing by Parker to up in that.
Parker was in a zone coverage, so he was able to get his eyes back to the quarterback and see what was happening in front of him, and then closed down and timed it perfectly.
He's an Oklahoma native from Bartlesville High School. A motion Wolf, handoff, some room running left, and almost able to turn the corner was Hubbard. But DeQuan Patton was able to get the angle just enough to get him to the sideline and out of bounds.
Yeah, now Hubbard's Canadian, played his high school ball up in Canada. I believe he'd have scored with a wider field on that one.
Here's Sanders. Throws on the move, finds Stoner. First catch of the game for Dylan Stoner, 19th of the year. What a special player he is.
Yeah, Coach Gandhi said he sees him as an NFL guy, and he compared him to Secretariat. He says he has the biggest heart, and he's talking physically here because he outruns everybody in their offseason program, winning the sprints at the end by 20 yards over guys much faster. He's just got a great capacity to just get it done.
First down pokes from the 15 of the Cats. Here's the pass deflected, but caught. Wallace. Somehow he's quickly wrapped up by A.J. Parker, but it looked like that ball got deflected.
Yeah, either that or Spencer Sanders got hit as he let it go. It was a duck for sure. But how about Tylan Wallace being able to reel that in? A wobbly ball with a defender, Parker, draped over his back, and he still makes a tough catch.
It's a 12-yard gain, and it's 1st and goal Cowboys from the K-State 3.
They struggled in this area of the field last week against Texas. Let's see if they got it fixed.
Timeout called by Kansas State. They're going to burn their 2nd of this first half. Chris Kleiman talking with the field judge there.
Yeah, you got to work him, and I'm sure he believes he's got a very valid point, but it's hard to sell it sometimes on these deals.
Well, Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus has the shows that Kansas State football fans do not want to miss. Mondays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. It's the Chris Kleiman Show. And on Tuesdays at 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central, we bring you Kleiman's weekly press conference. Both shows stream live right here on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. If you haven't already, sign up at ESPNplus.com. We, of course, wouldn't omit Mike Gundy. His press conferences, Mondays, 1 Eastern, noon Central Time. You can tune in for the Mike Gundy weekly press conference. It streams live also on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus.
And those Mike Gundy conferences are often
entertaining.
Yes, thank you.
K-State just one timeout left here in the half. Over 4 minutes to go first quarter, and Oklahoma State knocking on the door. Sanders rolls out wide open in the end zone is the tight end Logan Carter. Touchdown Oklahoma State.
First time Sanders has hooked up with a tight end for a touchdown yet this year. They have tried to pound the ball down in this area. They gave that look, did a little play action pass, and he caught him asleep in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Cowboys.
Logan Carter, a guy who's a former walk-on this year, was put on scholarship. His third catch of the year, first touchdown. McClure holds for Amendola for the point after. And 10-0 Oklahoma State as the Cowboys do take advantage of the Kansas State turnover and the fumble by James Gilbert.
Yeah, and that's huge. And take another look at this. Just a play action pass. The whole defense bought into it, closed up. Nobody on the tight end. Easy little throw for Sanders. And this Cowboy offense is getting it going. And, you know, when you've got to capitalize on those takeaways, and they did on this one.
8th touchdown pass of the year for Spencer Sanders, finding Logan Carter. And you see the bullet with the Spirit Rider and Boone on the flag to honor T. Boone Pickens. Again, this is the first home game for Oklahoma State since the passing of T. Boone Pickens back on September 11th. They played a couple of road games, but their first one in Stillwater.
Mike Gundy spoke glowingly of what Boone Pickens brought not only to this program but to the community around here, and also the other donors who saw what he was doing and pitched in another $70+ million towards this university. What a great legacy T. Boone Pickens has left.
Brooks takes it from the 8 to the 25, gets up near the 30. This is actually going to be about the best starting field position of the night for the Kansas State offense after that 22-yard return.
And now they need to respond, Mark. I mean, this is an offense that hadn't turned the ball over all year coming into this game, and now they got one on there against them. And how do they respond? That's the key, and that's what Coach Kleiman said. There's still questions in his mind about this team. They did face adversity, trailing Mississippi State on the road, but were able to come back and win. He thought that was a good sign, but he says there still are unanswered questions. Answer here.
At their own 30 in field position of the game. Hand off to Trotter. He'll throw to him out of the backfield down the line, and a nice gain of close to 8 on first down for Kansas State.
Trotter's one of the 3 backs that they'll use, and I really think he's as north and south as any running back I've seen. He likes to stick it straight upfield, one quick cut, and he's got an accelerator, and he can make plays, as you just saw.
That was his first catch of the season, and that 8-yard gain is the longest play of the game so far for the Wildcats. Thompson looks back left. He's going to take a deep shot, looking for his tight end, and a diving attempt incomplete. Nick Linners.
Malcolm Rodriguez, the linebacker, had great coverage on Linners. It needed to be a perfect pass, and it almost was. In fact, that's a catchable ball right there. I'm going to say great throw from Skylar Thompson. A tough catch for Linners, and great defense also by Malcolm Rodriguez.
K-State now 0 for 2 on deep shots tonight.
And Courtney Messingham, the offensive coordinator, said he's got to take some early to try and loosen up this Cowboy defense.
And that wasn't a bad time to try one, because it leaves him a 3rd and 1, a very manageable. Well, I say that, but Trotter met by Devin Harper. Did he get there? I don't think he did.
I don't believe he did either. That was great interior defense. The penetration really is what stopped this play as Trotter kind of runs into his own guy's back. Boom, right there. You got to open your eyes. He ran right up the back of Adam Holtorf, the center, and you know, that's about 600 pounds plus. He tried to push there, and then the great play coming up, making the tackle and the finish by Devin Harper.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez is now a colleague of ours at ESPN, so I won't say it was a rear end tackle or fumble, but He hit the back of Holtorf, and that stymied his momentum, so they fall short on 3rd and 1 and have to punt. And a great punt by Anctil, and the fair catch taken at the 6. So Anctil's punt able to flip the field thanks to a 56-yard boot.
Yeah, and that's important, Mark, because this whole game has been played on K-State's pretty much side of the field. Now their defense has a chance to get a 3 and out and give their offense good field position.
Kansas State team that's ranked 24th. Even though they had an off week last week, they move into the AP poll. First time in nearly 2 years that they have been ranked.
And that was basically on the wind of that win over Mississippi State on the road. You go to the SEC and win on the road against a ranked SEC team, you're going to get some accolades.
First time for the K-State team to do that, a win on the road at the SEC. And there's Chuba Hubbard showing his speed. He's to midfield and all the way down to the K-State 40. Denzel Goolsby, the one who finally caught up to him, a 54-yard run for Chuba.
Watch this hole open up. Boom, great block by the tight end. Stepping into the hole was Logan Carter, and that's all the space Hubbard needs. And you see that gas pedal he's got.
He gets a little breather. LD Brown comes in as the running back now for the Pokes. The first down from the 40 at K-State. Brown wrapped up. Minimal gain there. But just as you were saying, right, here's K-State. They just flipped the field with that really nice punt from Anctil, and then Chuba makes it a moot point with a long run like that.
Yeah, he found the funnel and shot up through there. And when he hits it, he hits it so fast that the DBs and the linebackers can't react, and now their angle is chase rather than coming at him.
Sanders wide open is Wallace on the sideline, a flag down.
What a throw on the run. A 30-yard, 20-yard dime. Unbelievable, but I think it was a push-off by Wallace.
Wondering why he was that wide open.
Yeah, that'll do it for you.
Pass interference, number 2. Offense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
You can see Wallace, he's pressing it upfield, trying to run Parker off, but he gets his hand on him really unnecessarily. I think he'd have been fine without that, just putting on the brakes.
Yeah, I agree with him. And you hear the reaction from the crowd who saw the replay on the big board.
What are they looking at?
He definitely pushed, though, but like you said, a push that probably didn't need to be made. He goes right back to Wallace, who makes the catch at the 42 of K-State, but is wrapped up by Keevan McGee.
And Wallace puts you over a barrel when you're trying to cover him because of his blazing speed and ability to track the ball down the field. The last thing you want is him going and them throwing it over your head. So you got to give a little cushion, and that allows all those breakoff routes to be effective.
Sanders elects to take off, and he's using his legs, makes a cutback and got tripped up just barely. Walter Neal got the lower part of the leg of Sanders and upended him, but he still runs for 8 yards.
I'd like to see Chuba Hubbard and Spencer Sanders in a foot race, because I think it would be neck and neck.
4th and 5. Can't get the front for K-State to jump. And they're going to let the final seconds of the first quarter run down. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. So a 25-yard field goal for Amendola started it. And a touchdown catch for the tight end Carter. And all the scoring in the first quarter belongs to the Cowboys. 10-0 Oklahoma State leads K-State. We start the second quarter from Stillwater. 10-0 Oklahoma State. They are passing up what would be about a 51-yard field goal opportunity. And going forward on 4th and 5, we think, from the 34-yard line of K-State. Sanders lost the football, got stripped. That ball loose, and it's still loose. It's kicked, and that's going to be a flag against Oklahoma State. It's eventually recovered at the 42 of the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's Wildcat ball regardless.
You can't kick the ball like that on purpose.
Yeah, it looked like it was intentional. It was a bad acting job if he was trying not to show that.
Wyatt seemed to strip that Hubbard.
Yeah, and a second sack of the day for Wyatt Hubbard. Coming around that edge, slapped the ball right out of his hands.
Illegal kicking, number 3, offense. It's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, first down, Kansas State.
Well, it was Sanders who kicked it after losing it. Let's take another look.
So Hubbard comes off the top. He beats the double team, rips the ball out of the hands, and now it's a wild scramble for it. And watch this little boot right here. Oop. Wrong sport. can't kick that. Yeah, pretty obvious that was intentional.
Wrong game of football.
Right. But a huge play for this Wildcat defense after the 4th down gamble by Mike Gundy.
Great field position, the best of the night for Kansas State as they begin at the 40-yard line of the Cowboys.
Take a shot here.
And no Malik Knowles due to injury for Kansas State. They have Joshua Youngblood, who'll be at the top of the screen. Joaquin Gill in the slot on the near side.
And Sebastian Taylor, who is a young player that he's down at the bottom mark. He's a guy that they were hoping could flash here today. They've seen some great things from him. He gets his chance because Knowles is out.
They motion and run the jet sweep with Youngblood, who's to the 31-yard line, close to it, about an 8-yard gain on that jet sweep for Joshua Youngblood, a true freshman.
Yeah, and they're now going to try to attack the perimeter of this Oklahoma State defense because they've gotten very little movement inside. Now then you have to go to the edges and try to spread that defense out. Then you can hit them in the gut again.
Gain of 9, 2nd down and 1. And a tough night so far for the K-State offense. They're trying to change that here. They flip the tight ends to the right side of the formation. Hand off, and Jordan Brown, not much, but he didn't need a lot for the first down and should have enough for the first down and will. Ed.
Yeah, running back James Gilbert told me this week that he felt like they could really get the running game going against this OK State defense because when he looked at film, he said there are a lot of creases in that defense when they have those 3-man fronts. And he saw a lot of it with Texas last week and how those running backs were able to exploit it. He told me, I feel like we can do the same thing on our offense because we have a senior offensive line that can block those guys up. Everyone gets their blocks. I feel like we can crease them.
And the Cowboys have given up 175 yards a game on the ground, so why not try that?
Well, they were a little short.
I'm surprised on that mark, and now they've got a false start.
False start from 62. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Gets the right guard, Tyler Mitchell. And I'm with you, Ray. I thought watching it live that Brown had the first down for K-State. He did not get a kind mark.
To me, he clearly landed across the 30-yard line, but that was not looked at by our replay official, Jeff Hansen, or called for a look from Coach Kleiman. So it is what it is now.
3rd penalty now for 33 yards against K-State on the 3rd and 6. Quick snap, Thompson. He is going to throw it out on the edge, and fighting for room is Brooks, but he can't find any. No gain. 4th down.
And that's a great play by Jarek Bernard on the edge. He took on that quick screen block from a big tight end, shredded it, and then came up and made the hit.
And it looks like K-State going to go for it here. You look at the play for Brooks, but it's going to be 4th and 5. We just saw Oklahoma State go for it on a similar situation on the other side of the field just a short time ago. And failed.
Playing for keeps, though.
Thompson ball fake. He's going to take a shot towards the sideline and incomplete for Brooks. And K-State will turn it over on downs.
Great discipline in the back end of the Cowboy defense. Fake quick screen. Nobody bit. Everybody's covered. 10-zip. Cowboys.
Welcome back to Big 12 Now on ESPN+. It was a turnover. First one turned over this season by the offense of K-State on the fumble by Gilbert. And Oklahoma State turned it into a touchdown, right?
Yeah, nice little out route by Stoner, moving the chains, and then they get down on that goal line. Play action pass to tight end Logan Carter, former walk-on, catching it from Sanders, and that's where we're at right now. 10-0 Oklahoma State with the ball.
As you look at the season numbers for Oklahoma State, yards allowed, they've only allowed 32 yards to the K-State offense so far. Mike Gundy's team has the 10-0 lead. On first down, Sanders, he wants to run. Coming to the near side. Brought down from behind by Daquan Patton. Gains about 7.
More than I thought they were going to get on that one, but the speed of Sanders had a couple nice blocks. He was able to play those blocks well and then get a nice positive gain, puts them ahead of the chains. They can do anything they want here in 2nd and 3.
Sanders time to throw, and he lost one down the sideline for Wallace and somehow came up with it. Great pass, great catch. Jonathan Alexander hit him hard and out of bounds at the 25.
Perfectly thrown football, and look at the separation at the end by Tywan Wallace and his body control to go up, high point the football, and then hang on after taking a big shot from Alexander.
33-yard gain, first down, Oklahoma State from the 25 of the Wildcats. Handoff, this is Chuba Hubbard. The 24, Daquan Patton again, number 5 with the tackle.
Kansas State blitzed one of their inside linebackers. He ate up all the interference, and that allowed Patton to come up and make a decent stop for a 1-yard gain.
Ray, we're still early in the second quarter. I kind of get the feeling for K-State they really need to hold Oklahoma State to a field goal attempt here.
They are not a comeback type football team. That's not their wheelhouse. They want to control the action, the clock, and all those things. And when you get behind, you can't do that.
Here's a reverse. It went from Wolf to Wallace, and he turns the corner, bounces off one tackler, and it'll be 1st and goal Cowboys at the 7-yard line.
I like what Sean Gleason did here. The offensive coordinator says, you know what, we're in a territory where we can take a few chances. Let's go with that reverse, get Wallace the ball in space, and good things will happen.
17-yard gain, 1st and goal Pokes. Sanders to the end zone, looking for Wolf, and a little too far for the redshirt junior out of Tulsa.
Let's look at this razzle-dazzle again. Here's Wallace. He's just heading out for the reverse. Just got the pitch before the man carrying it was tackled. And then when he's in the open field, he's exciting.
Very talented receiver who does a lot more than just catch the deep ball these days.
Yeah, he's improved his route running and his run after the catch big time this year.
Sanders running towards the edge. Takes a hit at the 5. Daniel Green pushing him out.
Took a nice little shot there at the end, but it looks like he gave more than he took. I like it when a quarterback has a little bit of an attitude like that.
Redshirt freshman Spencer Sanders out of Ryan High School in Denton, Texas. We just saw a huddle, by the way, from the Oklahoma State offense, if you were curious what that was.
Yeah, they don't see many of those around here.
Hand off. This is Wallace out of the backfield. Inside the 5 to the 4. Oklahoma State getting a little creative there offensively. Don't get a ton out of it, though.
No, but Wallace took an 8-yard loss and turned it into a 2-yard gain is what he did.
And it's 4th down from the 4. And they are going to bring out the field goal unit, Amendola.
Watch Wallace playing in tailback position now. I haven't seen him line up there. He avoids 2 tackles for loss, turns it up inside and gets positive yards. That's pretty good stuff for a 2-yard gain.
Amendola hit from 25 yards in the first quarter. This from 21 off the right hash out of the hole to Jake McClure. And to me, that's a win for K-State right there, Ray, to hold them to a field goal.
Agreed. And now they have to get something going on offense, which they have yet to do.
Only 32 total yards so far tonight for K-State. You see what they're averaging, over 450. If you're K-State, the silver lining here, Ray, is that you have not played well, especially offensively, and you're only down 13-0.
Right, they're still in this ball game, and I'm looking at time of possession here, and Kansas State is third in the country, averaging almost 37 minutes a game. Right now, Oklahoma State has outpossessed them in this game by about 4 minutes. That is the last thing I expected to see here.
Oklahoma State has 7 plays tonight offensively that have gone 10 or more yards. K-State, none. You know, Walter Neal, Phillips Brooks back deep for the Cowboys to receive this kickoff. Jake McClure. Brooks will let that sail into the end zone for a touchback. Well, let's see how the Kansas State offense responds. Skylar Thompson.
One thing I'm assured of is that Skylar Thompson will not try to overdo it. He's very composed. He is a laid-back kind of guy who understands it's a full 60-minute game. We're going to have our share of adversity. Just got to keep pounding on the rock and make good things happen, and that's where they're at right now. 18th
career start for Thompson. He had a great start here 2 years ago in their win over the Cowboys. He had at that point, career-high 3 touchdown passes. A mark that he equaled in the season finale last season against Iowa State. Looking to throw on first down. Thompson gives ground, and then he's just going to throw it away and live another down.
There has been no one open for him to throw the ball to. I mean, it's orange and black all over these white jerseys in that secondary. He had all day to throw that, and still nobody materialized.
We mentioned right at the top of the telecast, the redshirt freshman wide receiver Malik Knowles did not make the trip here due to injury. Has that been a factor so far?
A huge factor, because they haven't been able to really stretch the field. They haven't had any explosive plays, and Knowles is that guy.
Well, there is lightning within 8 miles of the stadium now, though we do not have rain here at this point, but it's close enough that per the NCAA rules that they have to stop play
for what, at least 30 minutes?
For at least 30 minutes, and as long as there's not a lightning strike within that 8-mile range within the next 30 minutes, we would start in just about a half an hour. But every time there's a strike within that 8-mile range, then that resets the half-hour clock that we have to wait. Before we pause for this weather delay, Ray, Oklahoma State leading 13-0. Is this something K-State can benefit from?
Oh, I think it's a huge break for Kansas State, because it's almost like a reset. Now you get to go back in, you get to make the corrections, and from the things that you haven't done right, you get the coaches back together and kind of almost re-game plan this thing based on what they've seen. I've seen games turn on a dime after these delays. It's a huge opportunity for Kansas State, and Oklahoma State has the same opportunity to keep, you know, doing what we're doing, but maybe add a little stuff here and there that they've found. Basically.
Welcome you back to Stillwater, Oklahoma. We're about to resume after an hour and 15-minute or so delay. And here's the first play since the resumption, and that is caught by Kansas State at the 35-yard line of Oklahoma State.
Samuel Wheeler out of nowhere goes deep, and it's a dime thrown by Skylar Thompson, and all of a sudden the Wildcats looking like they got something going here.
First off, in just a few moments, our camera operators for ESPN will be allowed back to their positions due to the lightning delay. So our apologies for just a few more moments. You'll see the wider shot from midfield, but this is a first down for Kansas State from the 36-yard line of Oklahoma State. They send the tight end in motion, Blaze Gammon. He comes back to the near side, faking the handoff. Skylar Thompson rolling out right, getting towards the edge, and he'll step out of bounds and lose a couple of yards. Oklahoma State leading 13-0, 7:42 to play in the first half, along with former Buffalo Bills and Central Michigan linebacker Ray Bentley. I'm Mark Neely. Edward Ashoff down on the field. We had anticipated perhaps this delay due to the lightning and the storm could possibly benefit K-State, and at least a couple of plays in, it looks that way.
Yeah, it's a new ball game. This thing is basically, after an hour-plus delay, it starts over. Now the Wildcats start in a 13-zip hole, but they're able to forget a lot of that stuff that happened and go on forward from here.
Second down and 11. Just over 7 minutes to play in the first half. Here's a handoff. Jordan Brown doesn't get much. They get a yard or so to the 36, stopped by Malcolm Rodriguez. Our camera operators, by the way, are back. Again, our company policy is a certain amount of time after the last lightning strike before they can retake their positions, which happened to be just a few minutes later than the NCAA rules. But we're back and rolling with all our personnel. We appreciate your patience. And here's a 3rd down and 10 for K-State. Two receivers to each side for Skylar Thompson. Thompson, quick strike, finds Brown. He's hit about 3 yards shy of the line of scrimmage, of the line to gain, that is, and he'll be about 2 yards short after an 8-yard pickup. Colby Harvell-Peel to stop for the Pokes.
Great read by Thompson. He throws behind the blitz knowing there's a void there because guys just left. Gets it out to Brown and gets him in field goal range.
Here's Blake Lynch to try to get Kansas State on the board. 46-yard attempt off the right hash. Out of the hold of Devin Enkel. Lynch 2 of 3 this season in field goal attempts. It has the distance, and it is good. And Kansas State gets on the board with the 46-yard field goal from Blake Lynch. And really, this game began, Ray, K-State's offense not able to do much against the Oklahoma State defense.
No, the Cowboy defense was impressive. You look at all the hats to the ball, and then they started hitting them so hard they're forced a turnover, got a touchdown off of that. And this defense really has been outstanding. And then this was a nice touchdown drive that they got. Sanders hits Stoner for a nice first down. They hit Wallace inside the 5, and then a little play action touchdown pass to Logan Carter. That's the lone touchdown in this ball game.
Yeah, their lead down to 10. Chuba Hubbard 4 carries, but for 61 yards. We anticipate him get a little more increased frequency. And right on cue, guess who? All the way up near midfield, 19-yard run.
And Hubbard is so fast to the hole. There was a blitzer coming off the top edge. A lot of times that guy is able to make the play, but Hubbard hit it so quickly that he ran past the man and found a nice little seam.
Sanders gives it right back to Hubbard, cuts back left, found a little bit of a crease, and is able to get positive yardage. Not only positive yardage, but gain 10 and another first down.
Great vision from Hubbard. I mean, that one was designed to go outside. He saw it all blocked up, put a foot in the ground, and made a quick cut and got the cut back on him. Got a nice block from Jelani Woods as well.
First down, Pokes from the 42-yard line at K-State, and looking to throw on first down. He hits Wallace, Tylan Wallace, reception to the 36, tackled by Parker, and a gain of 6.
Yeah, you got to keep Wallace involved. Get him the ball on every drive. He can make a play for you.
That up-tempo offense for Oklahoma State. Right back to Chuba Hubbard. Finds a crease inside the 25. Makes another man miss before he's brought down near the 15-yard line by Goolsby and Parker. Another nice run for Hubbard. That one for 21.
And he gets right through the funnel. You see that funnel right there? That's what you try to get on zone blocking. And if you have a back who can see it, you'll get big plays.
And here's Hubbard. Just as we thought, Ray, after the lightning delay, that we would see more of Chuba Hubbard, and that's been the case on this drive.
And Hubbard just cracked the century mark. 7 totes, 109 on the ball game. Deserves a little rest.
Yeah, not a bad average of almost 17 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And L.D. Brown will spell him. Fakes the handoff to Brown. Sanders rolling out now. Finds some traffic, but finds the open man. Metcalf, the tight end. A late flag, though, back at the 10.
Illegal lineman downfield, I believe.
We'll see if this is coming back.
An eligible man downfield, number 50. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. for a second down.
Well, that was the center, Rye Schneider, getting the start at center. We talked tonight about the shuffling on the offensive line for Oklahoma State. And Malik Knowles, redshirt freshman wide receiver, did not make the trip from Manhattan due to an injury. And that has been a significant loss for this K-State team, at least the way it's played out so far here in this first half.
Yeah, they miss his explosiveness. I mean, they'll hand the ball off to him on the jet sweep stuff, and he's very good with that, and he's the biggest downfield threat they have.
3rd down and 6. K-State 0 for 5 on 3rd down tonight. Looking to convert for the first time. Thompson again looking downfield. Nobody open. He's going to throw. And incomplete at the 40. Jarek Bernard, number 24 there on the coverage, batted that one away.
I think Thompson missed a great opportunity to scramble up the middle. It opened wide, and every time he seems to want to escape to his right when things break down. Whereas on film, watching him prior to this game, he got up that middle several times, and that's where he really makes plays.
So a minute 10 to play. Oklahoma State has all 3 of their timeouts. Devin Actil to punt. Stoner's back at the 30-yard line for Oklahoma State. Actil just got that one away, but a high towering punt, and the fair catch taken at the 26 by Dylan Stoner. So a minute 2 to play, first half. Oklahoma State will have the ball up 13. Minute 2 to play, first half. All 3 timeouts for Oklahoma State as they begin this drive at their own 27. Sanders, design run, makes one man miss and a second, and tumbles forward for over a 10-yard gain. First down to the 38.
New little wrinkle for the quarterback draw. They motion Hubbard out, empty set, spreads out the defense, and Sanders just needs a little bit of a seam.
Given ground, Sanders out of reach and incomplete for Stoner.
That previous play, the quarterback draw, see if we didn't get a face mask that was maybe missed here. Yeah, I'm going to say no. I think he just got him up on the shoulder. Good non-call there. But boy, you get in the get the wrong angle and your flag comes out on one of those.
Yeah. Hubbard back in there. Delay to Hubbard. Pretty well defended that time by K-State and Reggie Walker.
Great play by Reggie Walker, because had he not gotten the shoestrings, Hubbard was popping through the middle hard.
Cowboys will use their first timeout.
Watch this. If this play isn't made here by a hustling Walker, there's a man with a block right in front of him, and there was nobody else really within 5 yards at that point. My money would have been on Hubbard.
Reggie Walker, senior, Ponchatoula, Louisiana.
16 career sacks for Walker. Forced 8 fumbles.
30 career tackles for loss. Yeah, those 8 career forced fumbles, just one shy of the Kansas State school record. I got a feeling he's going to get that when his career is over.
The way he plays, the odds are pretty good in his favor.
So 3rd and 7 upcoming for Oklahoma State. 2 timeouts left. Chris Kleiman, K-State. Even though we're winding down this first half, I think the lightning delay probably did help K-State, Ray.
Oh, they were getting ground into the ground before that delay. They were out physical.
Throw on the run by Sanders overshoots Tylan Wallace, and it's 4th down. There is a flag.
Another illegal lineman downfield. See a lot of that, and I think rightly so. It's the whole RPO game, the run pass option. So the line's blocking run, and the quarterback makes a read and decides to throw it, and it's really unfair.
Downfield, number 77, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That time they got the right tackle, Hunter Anthony.
Check out the right side of your screen, number 77. Now, it's really no fault of his. It just takes too long for this ball to come out, and he can't be past 3 yards down the field. And if he is, more often than not, they'll throw the flag on that. I've seen him miss a few of those, though.
Tom Hutton to punt. True freshman from Australia. There's nobody back to receive the punt for Kansas State.
There's no sense in taking a chance and dropping a ball.
That'll bounce it around the 15 and be down there. 44-yard punt. Tom Hutton. One timeout for K-State and only 19 seconds left in this first half.
Spencer Sanders has been very impressive tonight. Not so much with the feet as he has been, although he had a nice little run on that last series, but throwing the football, he's been outstanding. 13 of 19, a touchdown, 145 yards, and he's made great decisions. Has not put the ball in jeopardy at all for the Cowboy offense.
K-State looks like they're just going to take a knee to send it to the locker room. Seems like we just had a halftime break not a long time ago, doesn't it?
A long one, too.
That hour, 15-minute or so lightning delay, which came with 8:31 left in the second quarter. And now we are officially at the end of the first half. And as you mentioned, nice half for Spencer Sanders.
Yeah, he was outstanding throughout the time that he played. And you got to give him a lot of credit. But the real hero right now is Coach Knowles and the defense and the way they.
24th ranked K-State trailing by 13 on the road in Stillwater as we get ready to start half number 2. Take a look at the first half stats for K-State. Only one first down, Ray. Big discrepancy. They got to get the offense going to have a chance.
Yeah, that's what'll make this a game. And I agree with what people are talking about. The defense has played pretty well to hold this explosive offense to 3 field goals, getting down in the red zone. That's good stuff, but your offense has to answer if you're Kansas State.
From half number 1, let's see how his offense responds to start the second half. And a carry for James Gilbert off right side. He'll pick up 3 or 4 on first down before he's brought down by Colby Harvell-Peel.
That's one of the best first down runs we've seen from the Wildcats all night, and it's modest, but it keeps them in the chains. It keeps them ahead of the chains. Now you got a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7 call that you can do different things with, and you're on schedule.
Officially a gain of 4. Second down at 6. Motion the tight end. Linners straight ahead. Once again, that pile will push to about the 37. Once again, Harvell-Peel. 31 with a tackle. Along with some help, Agbongamiga.
Kansas State averaged 5.8 yards to go on their 6 third downs in the first half. They were 0 for 6. They got it under that average. 3rd and 3 here. Chance to make a play. The run and the pass are both open. It puts that defense in a bind. Let's see what happens.
Jordan Brown in the backfield as Gilbert went to the sideline for a 3rd and 3 call. And no Malik Knowles tonight for K-State. He doesn't make the trip due to injury. Thompson will roll out, run it right. Looks like he wants to run for it, dives forward, and he's going to be short.
Well, he missed a golden opportunity. He had Landry Weber wide open along the sidelines, and instead of throwing it to him for the first down, he tried to get it with his legs.
So a 3 and out. Their first drive.
Look at number 12, wide open right there. Dump it to him. That's a first down. Instead, he tries to run it and comes up short.
Devin Agdill punt. Line drive punt sends Stoner towards the sideline. He makes the running catch, which carries him out of bounds at the 16. 46-yard punt. Mike Gundy's team has led throughout. The only K-State points came late in the first half. First possession of the second half for Oklahoma State's offense. And a handoff and straight ahead. There goes Chuba. One man to beat. Can he catch him? No. Hubbard. 84 yards. Touchdown.
Well, that put him over 200 for the 3rd time this season. Watch this. He gets this seam, and now it's a foot race. And Coach Gundy was telling us that from Canada had opportunity to be on their Olympic sprint team. However, he put 25 in here, so that ship has sailed. But I'll tell you what, that dude can sail himself.
84-yard touchdown run. You mentioned the earlier 200-yard rushing games he's had this year. One was 256 at Tulsa, which is the most rushing yards by anyone in an FBS game this year.
And a little bit about Chuba Hubbard from head coach Mike Gundy. He says he's still not totally a mature football player, coming from Canada and playing with a group of players on the field where he was always the star, not getting tackled a lot. He still hasn't hit that maturity level on the field when it comes to playing. Says he still needs about 15 to 20 more games before he really feels like he is that mature football player. But put on 20 pounds when he got to Oklahoma State, and that made him not join the track team, but looks like he's got a little track speed in him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to differ with Coach Gundy. I think Chuba Hubbard has arrived.
The return out to the 20-yard line for Phillip Brooks. Well, the point about Chuba Hubbard is this. He took over as the primary running back last year when Justice Hill got hurt in the Bedlam game against Oklahoma fairly late in the season. So he really has
the last 4 games.
Yeah,
really.
His resume is like 7 games coming into tonight.
But they've been 7 really impressive ball games, and watching him this year, he does the little things better. He's harder to tackle. You know, one of the things Coach Gundy said was he hadn't been hit, and he'd been hit now. He got hit last week against Texas, I promise you. But he seems to, the more he goes, the better he gets.
K-State now down 20, but still very early in the second half. And Thompson throws, and he's got a man, Brown, out of the backfield, but he dropped it at the 40.
There's still no excuse for this shot. I mean, this is a perfect pass right into the seam between the underneath corner and the overtop safety, but the eyes came off it because the footsteps got loud.
And he's going to run with it. Gets pinballed around up to the 27-yard line by Jark Bernard and Agbong Bamiga. But all in all, that's not a bad rushing attempt for K-State tonight.
Might be their best first down play all night.
Picked up 6.
Second down, excuse me.
Yep, now it's 3rd and 4. Holcomb back to the sideline. 3rd and 4. You get a feeling here, Ray, this is a first down they badly need to convert. Thompson sets up. There was some contact early, it appeared, but no flag, and Landry Weber, the intended receiver, incomplete, and it's 4th down.
And that's another great play from the safety position. Trey Sterling coming up and knocking this thing loose. You're right, Mark, maybe a little bit early, but not enough to draw a flag. And the timing on that was just immaculate. And there is nobody open for Skylar Thompson to throw to all night long. They've been just painted up.
So Kansas State is now 0 for 8 on 3rd down tonight. They come after this punt from Achtel. He's able to get it away. Stoner fair catch at the 36 of the Pokes. 37-yard punt. They were coming after Achtel.
Yeah, this is one of them reach-over type block attempts. You run past the punter and stick the hand out there, just not quite close enough.
3 games as well on ESPN+. Hubbard is out there once again. Yeah, the 84-yard touchdown run. By the way, and I think we've mentioned this tonight, if we haven't, Hubbard came in this week leading the nation in yards after contact. Well, he didn't get to add to that stat with his 84-yard touchdown run because nobody from K-State touched him. Come to the near side, and that catch for Landon Wolf. He is immediately tackled. That was A.J. Parker. That's a loss of a couple of yards.
Good defense, and this defense has played well tonight. I mean, they've been worn out a little bit. They've been on the field more than the offense, which is rare for this outfit, but they've made stops in the red zone. They played well, and now they're offsides.
Hubert jumped, and a little push in there after Reggie Walker. And he and Anthony. No doubt about the offsides.
Offside, number 51. Defense, uninvented the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Mike Gundy obviously concerned, but in Walker's defense, the whistle was a little delayed and he was already rolling, so I'm not mad at him.
5th penalty against K-State for 43 yards tonight. The Cowboys looking at a 3rd down and 6. A little shovel. Hubbard. That last little lunge gets him close, but still about a yard away from the first down, a 5-yard gain.
That's one of them heart attack plays for a coach, because your quarterback is pitching it late awkwardly, and it wasn't the best pitch, but yet those players are so good, Hubbard and Sanders, they made it work.
4th down and 1 from their own 45, and it looked like they were kind of thinking about that for a moment, but decided, hey, we can't give K-State any momentum at all.
Right, and the defense is playing so well. Nice move to avoid Walker there, and then the pitch is almost a forward pass, it looked like. I don't know, Hubbard might have got that, man. That might have needed to be looked at.
Hutton's punt, and Brooks, fair catches just outside the 15. Will that K-State offense come alive? Still early in this second half. K-State's won the last 2, including their win here 2 years ago, which was their first here since 1999. They're in a big hole right now, 23-3. With 9:28 to go, 3rd quarter. Thompson hands off. This is Trotter running straight ahead, and I'm not even going to look at the stat sheet. That's got to be their best run from scrimmage on 1st down tonight, and that's for 8 yards. If not, it's got to be close.
Nice little run by Trotter, and he seems to be, if there is one, the hottest hand in that backfield. You know, they like to use Harry Trotter, Jordan Brown, and James Gilbert, and nobody really has gotten it going yet today. Just 40 rush yards for the Wildcats.
Fakes the handoff to Trotter, and Thompson again rolling out is just going to throw it high in the vicinity. The intended receiver, and took a little hit there at the end.
And it's Groundhog's Day for Skylar Thompson, because he drops back to throw again, and there's nobody to throw it to. Every guy has a defender plastered on him, and then he gets plastered himself.
Kansas State has not converted on 3rd down yet tonight. 0 for 8. Kept by the quarterback, and a 1st down run and more for Skylar Thompson, who's ankle tackled at the 44-yard line by Rodarius Williams.
Fakes the jet sweep to Youngblood, and then works it to the backside, and finally they find a seam, and this is the kind of thing I expected out of Thompson, you know, throughout the night. The flashes of it, and that's really the first time he's cut loose.
20-yard run, and the first 3rd down conversion of the game for K-State. Comes with a little over 8 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. They shift the tight ends. Long and Lenners to the left side of the formation. They run that way, but Gilbert is going to be tackled for a loss back at the 40 by Devin Harper.
We spoke with Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and he said you're going to see more of Devin Harper because he's a good run defender. And he was there, boy. He shot that gap. Nobody touches him. That's a dream shot for a linebacker.
It's a loss of 4 on 1st down for K-State. Ball back at their own 40 now. Go to 2 receivers to each side. Thompson hands off Gilbert, coming to the near side, breaks a tackle or 2, and is up near midfield. Mark him down at the 49 thanks to Cameron Murray's tackle. Bring up a 3rd and 5. Really haven't gotten Gilbert going. He's a grad transfer from Ball State, came in over 3,000 career rushing yards. This is a school that had no running backs on scholarship at one point in the offseason.
Yeah. Chris Kleiman says, yeah, nobody had told me about that. But he was expecting James Gilbert to transfer to North Dakota State. And then when Coach Kleiman got the job, he just followed him here.
Weber in motion. Thompson, time running out. He's able to elude one tackler, Mike Scott. It goes to the far side to midfield, and Thompson just stayed on his feet. He's still going to be a little short of the first down, but does pick up 3 yards after all this.
This is the perfect dodging machine right here, Skylar Thompson. He's got one guy that got him, not no more. He's got another guy dead on him. Nope, not going to be you or you two. And then he finally runs into his own man that kind of stopped the parade.
Yeah, ran into the back of Weber. And it's 4th and 2.
I am surprised that they're not going for this. I know there's 6:03 left here and change in the third quarter. A lot of football left. Maybe a fake comes here. I don't know, but this would be one where I would have to go for it.
Punt by Agtol, and
especially after that.
And it goes into the end zone.
Net 21 yards on the deal.
Yep. So 5:44 to play in this third quarter. But a frustrating night for Skylar Thompson and the Kansas State offense. (23-3) Oklahoma State. 5:44 to go third quarter. Great to have you with us from Stillwater. We did have about an hour and 15-minute lightning delay in the second quarter. And one of the stories tonight for Oklahoma State has been the reshuffling due to injury on their O-line tonight, and they've managed that very well, Ray.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they've run the ball for 226 yards, and with a patchwork offensive line, you got to give the offensive line coach Charlie Dickey a lot of credit for that.
Charlie Dickey, a guy who is in his first year on the staff for Mike Gundy after a decade in Manhattan.
He knows the opponent pretty well, I think is what you're telling me here.
That he does.
However,
yeah, interesting. When we asked Coach Gundy about that, we said, hey, you have Coach Dickey on your staff. Was he a source of information about Kansas State this weekend or for this weekend's game? And Coach Gundy said, you know what? No. And we knew with all the time that Coach Dickey had spent at Kansas State, we didn't want to put him in that position to have to sit there and kind of spill all his inside information.
Right, he knew he would
State.
do it, but he wouldn't feel right about it. And that's just the kind of guy Coach Dickey is. And he said, you know what, let's not even bother with that. We got film, we can see these guys, we can make our own determinations.
Landon Wolf right up near the first down marker before he got pushed back. Forward progress. Looks like it will give him the first down. And also kudos to Coach Gundy. That tells you a lot about his personality too.
The more I talk and visit with Mike Gundy, I mean, he comes right down my main street. That's my kind of dude right there. I love the way he handles a lot of things.
His team lost last weekend in Austin to start 0-1 in conference for the 4th straight year, but trying to get in the win column. Conference game number 2. This is the conference opener for K-State. Gain of 6 there on first down. Chuba, who by the way now is officially over 200 yards. 12 carries for 206 yards. His third 200-yard game of the year. Rolling out, and Sanders is going to sprint past one. He's to midfield, down the sideline. Gets hit hard at the 37-yard line by Denzel Goolsby. A long run for the quarterback, Spencer Sanders.
It shows you his ability to make a play out in space too. I mean, he's a nice runner, but a better scrambler. And by that, I mean he's got the eyes and the vision to see where to scramble. And then when he gets there, he puts the hammer down, and it's tough getting him to the dirt.
29-yard run for the quarterback, Spencer Sanders. Weaving through traffic. Down to the 28 and a run of 7. Ed has more.
Dylan Stoner told me that, yeah, he likes it when Sanders throws a ball. He really likes that, but he loves watching him use his feet. He told me, we know that the play is never over with him at quarterback, so we always have to stay ready. And then they love watching him when he scrambles outside of the pocket.
He has been an outstanding runner. And another run there. Daquan Patton stopping Hubbard. Sanders came in number 2 in rushing yards for quarterbacks at FBS. Only Jalen Hurts had run for more coming into this weekend.
And you can see why, the explosiveness that he has, and just the sampling that we've seen tonight. But I've been even more impressed with the way he's run this offense. Haven't seen a lot of mistakes or any confusion, and then throwing the ball, he's 16 of 22 for $153 and 1 touchdown.
Sanders going to let it fly, and incomplete at the 5 for Tylan Wallace, who had to leap right along the sideline to try to come down with that.
That's an athletic dude.
I think if you ask him, he's going to think he should have caught that ball.
Oh, he's mad at himself right now. I'll tell you that.
Wallace has 8 catches for 145 yards though tonight. Sanders,
there he goes,
heaving around, giving ground, throwing. He made a mistake there. It's picked off. The flag comes out at the end of the play after the interception for Elijah Sullivan.
Yeah, there's an old saying: you don't throw across your body late in the down.
Man downfield, number 72, offense. That penalty is declined. First down.
And that's a freshman quarterback that we've talked about. And this, you don't do this. Now, yeah, you got a guy standing there open, but people are coming, and the throw was a little errant as well. So he'll learn from that one. Probably won't see that again anytime soon.
First pick of the year for the junior Elijah Sullivan.
Sledge. Hammer.
4 times Sanders has been picked. Let's see if maybe that. We keep trying to find something for K-State to build off of.
They do too. They haven't found it on offense yet.
We're going to give to Gilbert. Bounces off one tackler, and a nice run, lowers the shoulder, and a first down.
That is something you can build off. Gilbert ran over somebody, and now, okay, it's physical. It's on. This is how we play, and yet we haven't seen much of it. Watch him get up in the hole and just, bam, just smash through the linebacker, Rodriguez.
15-yard run on first down for James Gilbert. Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Oklahoma State down 20. They fake the jet sweep. Thompson threads that pass, and they say that is complete to Dalton Schoen, first down.
I thought that throw was a little bit late, but nonetheless right on the money, and then Schoen, with a guy draped entirely all over him, is able to make the catch with the hands. That's beautiful football.
13-yard gain, first catch of the night for Schoen, his 8th of the year. Back-to-back first downs.
They've got John Holcomb in there again, and they have to take another timeout. That's twice they brought Holcomb in to be a Wildcat type quarterback, and they couldn't get lined up right.
Well, after having to use their second timeout, getting ready to use the Wildcat, instead they bail on the Wildcat, and it's Skylar Thompson under center. Into the I formation, handoff to Gilbert. Now they're going to say no play. The officials whistle it dead.
Well, the receiver came in really late. And the receiver came at the top, came in really late, and Oklahoma State didn't get a fair chance with that substitution to come over there and do something about it.
Gilbert straight ahead, but met right at the line of scrimmage. And pushed back, no gain. In fact, maybe that play went on a little too long. Tui Halamaka with the tackle, and a flag came out.
Yeah, Gilbert came over there to say something about it, but Gilbert missed his cut. Had he busted that to the outside, he had a lot of room, and he just lowered his head and ran into the wall.
Well, it is a personal foul against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Tui Halamaka just kept on going, and the whistle blew, and you got to quit, and instead he slammed him down. I agree with this call.
Here's the end of the play. And that was well after the whistle. First down, K-State at the 38 of Oklahoma State. Straight ahead goes Gilbert. Well, the running game starting to show some signs of life here for the Wildcats right now.
Yeah, and they're starting to do more what I call pin pull type blocking, where they block down and then pull people around rather than the zone stuff. And that was their bread and butter coming into this. And I know you want to show teams different looks, but you also have to be who you are. And I think they failed to do that so far here tonight.
Final seconds of this third quarter. Get the play off in time. Thompson going to throw. And out of reach of the intended receiver, Joaquin Gill, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter. Well, the only scoring in that third quarter was a long Hubbard touchdown run.
Yeah, boy, was it. He just took off 84 yards, turned into a foot race at the end, and I'm telling you here, if it's a foot race, my money's on Hubbard.
Into the fourth quarter from Stillwater, 23-3 Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy's team trying to even their record at 1-1 in conference, and this is the conference opener for Chris Klieman at Kansas State. The off week yesterday. Chris Klieman has not lost as a head coach since November 4th, 2017.
I just did the math, 694 days.
I believe the number. I'm not sure if I believe that you actually did the math.
I had my shoes off. That should have been your first clue.
From the Wildcat, Holcomb dropped the snap, but then picks it up and runs it forward to about the 30. Does gain 3 or 4 yards.
Holcomb tried to run before he got the snap. I mean, he's jacked up. He wants to make an impact. He's getting a chance here. And critical time for this team.
They didn't have to use a timeout, their last one, with Holcomb in as the Wildcat, because it was the first play of the quarter. Now 4th and 2, and no question they're going for it here.
Have to.
Leave Holcomb in there. Thompson is at the top of the screen. Motion, Youngblood, hand it to him on the jet sweep. First down the sideline, hit out of bounds inside the 20-yard line by Trey Sterling, and Kansas State converts on 4th down.
And give Holcomb a lot of credit, because I guarantee you he wanted to keep this football, but he stayed true to his read. He reads them linebackers, and if they're coming at him, he's going to hand it off. If they're getting wide, he'll keep it and take it up the middle. Good read by Holcomb.
It extends the drive for Kansas State. First down at the 19 of the Pokes. Making the handoff to Trotter. In trouble, just lets it go, and in the direction against intended receiver Gill. That pocket had collapsed.
That's the play action pass. This is the one they hit for their final touchdown to beat Mississippi State. Long look right there, holding the ball out, and then the receiver coming across. There was nowhere to go. He was covered like a glove, and really Thompson had no chance, just kind of threw it in the general direction of a receiver near the sideline.
Give us to Gilbert, trying to stretch it out, and can. He's tackled for a loss by Trey Sterling.
Sterling's been all over the field tonight, man. He's been making plays just like that. He plays close to the line of scrimmage as a safety, but we've seen him break up some passes. And when he turns the jets on and comes downhill, it's look out, because he's going to get there quick, and then he's going to finish it when he does. Played a really good ball game tonight.
Fifth tackle of the night, by the way, for Sterling. Here comes pressure on Thompson. He lets it go across the middle and finds his receiver Brooks. Mark Brooks at the 19, but bring out. As you see Thompson get hit as he threw there.
Yeah, always a price to pay. But some good sportsmanship helping them up. I never did that back in the day.
Yeah.
Get yourself up.
Wasn't what your generation did much of, right?
No. They're on their own in that regard.
Lynch is hit from 46. And he hits this one as well from 37. Landon Wolf and L.D. Brown back deep to receive this kickoff for Oklahoma State. And a touchback. Well, you mentioned at the very top of the telecast tonight, Ray, your big three, the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver for the Cowboys, and they've all produced.
Yeah, take a minute to digest these numbers. And
they have 412 yards of offense. The rest of the team, as you saw, has 16 total yards. Chuba Hubbard up near the 30. Wrestled down by Wayne Jones.
Big Marcus Keys helping him up, and Keys has been outstanding tonight as well, and he is the anchor of this offensive line. I coached against his father back in the Arena Football League. He played a couple years in the league, and the younger Marcus Keys, he's going to be up there too.
Hubbard again taken down, this time at the 35, right near the first down marker. There you see number 75, Marcus Keys. Dad Marcus as well, played in the Bears late 90s, Chicago.
He is fun to watch. I mean, he's always helping the running back up. He does the extra stuff. You talk about leadership, this guy has it.
Well, it was third and about the length of the football, and Sanders keeps it.
Look at Keys. He's still all jacked up.
Well, the offensive line was an issue tonight, we thought, for Oklahoma State. Keys being the only one starting in his normal spot at left guard. Everybody else was mix and match. And when we talked yesterday with Sean Gleason, the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys, he made light of it. He said, yeah, we'll be fine. And we kind of looked at each other like, well, we'll see. Well, he was right. It has worked out fine.
It really has.
Hubbard looking patiently. He's able to get a couple yards out of it where he runs into Bronson Massey.
And those guys have to be in tremendous shape. And those big fellas and this tempo that they run and the heat out here, it just amazes me that they're able to continue to go like they do.
We'll look to the sideline to eat a little bit of clock. Play clock's down to 15. That's low for Oklahoma State's offense. Sanders, time to throw, and has his man open, but overshot Stoner, and it's picked off by Darrell Patterson. Patterson returns it to the 45 to midfield and hit hard.
Yeah,
Tylan Wallace.
Like, I can play defense too. What do you need? But just an overthrow really from Spencer Sanders. It looked like the intended receiver got caught up with the defensive back, Patterson, and Patterson got kind of pushed back, and it put him right into the path of the football.
Second time tonight that Sanders has been picked, and you can definitely tell that Patterson feeling the effects of that hit at the end of the play.
There, and a great concentration to tap that thing around and keep control of it. Then you pay at the end because Mr. Wallace makes a call. Boom.
Hello. Well, Kansas State down 17 after the second turnover of the night, and they find the tight end, and upended is Nick Lenners. His first catch of the night, third of the season, a gain of 19.
And it's the first time all night Malcolm Rodriguez didn't have the perfect coverage all over a tight end. And they've been trying to do this all night, but they haven't been able to because Rodriguez has been draped over the guy. This time Lenners was able to get a little separation.
First down from the 30.
Ill effects that we can see right now from Skylar Thompson.
Releases quickly and finds Dalton Schoen for a gain of 8. Well, Kansas State can punch this in relatively quickly, Ray. The storyline gets a bit more intriguing.
Yeah, they have to go for 2 in my opinion on that. Well, it wouldn't really matter, would it? Because it's 17.
Not yet. Yeah, they're down 3 scores still.
There I go with my math again.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I left the shoes on. That's the problem.
Here's Brown. And he'll have a first down at the 18-yard line.
And this offense looks like it found its gear. Is it too late? That's the only question.
And just over 9 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter.
This has been their best drive by far.
Trying to take advantage of second interception of the night. Thompson going foreside for the end zone, turning a little bit late. Gill, he got tangled up with the defender, and there's a flag at the 15.
Number 89, offense. He was covered up and went downfield on a legal forward pass.
Well, we've seen the ineligible man
penalty.
downfield a couple of times on the other side for Oklahoma State. And we see it for the first time tonight called against K-State.
Yeah, and it was the tight end, actually, number 89, Blaze Gammon. And the problem was the formation was messed up, and he ended up covered.
And he was going on a route. So there was some kind of mix up there, as you alluded to, Ray. So it's first and 15. Give to Trotter. Turns upfield inside the 20, down to the 15, close to the 15. He was met by Harvell Peel and Brock Martin.
One thing I've seen less rotation of this Cowboy defense tonight than I've seen previously, and I think fatigue might become a factor, might be starting to become a factor in relation to Kansas State's ability to move the football here.
Thompson had to screen Brooks. First and goal inside the 5.
Nice play call there, tunnel screen. The Cowboy defense has been voiding the middle to cover guys on the outside, and you dump it inside and you get a few linemen up in there, and you just come back to it. You see the 2 linemen out front. There's only one man there in the middle, and that's Agbong Bamiga, and he was a lonester there.
First and goal, K-State trying to find the end zone for the first time tonight. They've got a couple of field goals from Lynch from 37 and 46, but haven't found the end zone yet.
Make this a little more interesting if they punch one in here.
It's Gilbert. Touchdown Kansas State with 7:14 to go. 4th touchdown run of the year for James Gilbert.
Not much resistance on that drive and that particular play. Really good job of blocking there by Tyler Mitchell, the right guard. He got his rear end in the hole, blocked that guy from getting across his face, and boom, a little seam, and that's all Gilbert needs.
Mike Lynch, a perfect 18 for 18 point after on the season, make it 19 for 19, and it's 23-13. 10-point game. They found the end zone, Ray.
They did. It's there.
Well, Gilbert's touchdown run, his 4th of the season, but that's the 11th rushing touchdown for a Kansas State running back this season. I mention that because last year, Ray, they only had 13 rushing touchdowns all year by a running back.
Yeah, and that added up to a 5-7 season, but they are running the ball better here tonight.
Look at their first 11 drives, but their last 3, as you alluded to, starting to find some more rhythm offensively.
Yeah, and I got to say some of it's the fatigue factor for the Cowboy defense, but I also think that they finally found a little bit of a formula, and they quit shooting themselves in the foot. They were their own worst enemy up until those last 3 drives, basically stopping themselves as much as anything.
Is it too little too late for K-State? Well, we don't know, but for them to keep this rally going, they're going to defensively need to make a quick stop. That fair catch made at the 1, but it'll come out to the 25 per that rule that was changed a year or 2 ago.
This is a huge series for this Wildcat defense, and they've hung in there pretty well all night. And they need to cap it off with some kind of stop, get the offense back on the field while they're rolling pretty good.
And I'm always intrigued, Ray, by the Oklahoma State offense. They like to hike the ball with 25 on the play clock, a lot of times. Do they, when that clock gets rolling, try to eat a little more clock than usual?
I think you have to, but not to the extent that you're going to, hurt yourself. All right, they play better faster, and so you got to kind of weigh that out.
Well, play clock's down to 2. They're going to get this off in time. Very close, but they do. And we'll pick up about 4 on first down. Wayne Jones, number 4, with the tackle for K-State.
Yeah, the clock's running now. Let's see if they try to take a little more time off of it, or they just go in their normal rotation, their normal speed. There's your answer.
Yeah, they snap it with 29 on the play clock with the game clock running. Hubbard is going to leave about a third and a long 2 or 3 make that.
Talking to Sean Gleason, he said, we try to get it off before 25, but when we're humming, when we're going, there's 30 or more seconds left on that play clock when they get their snap off.
Call it 3rd and 3. Big play for the K-State defense right here if they're going to try to continue this rally. Handoff, Hubbard, first down. Boy, he just kind of.
He's a glider, man.
Yes, interesting.
He's in his vision, and I know Coach Gundy's talked about this with us as well, has really improved. Initially, he was just a fast guy. Now he's turned into a real running back, and you can just see the difference.
So Hubbard able to move the chains with that last run, and they'll let some clock run down here. Down to 6 minutes. Ed has more.
The best players on the field, if not the best player tonight. But Mike Gundy told us, hey, he's still a year and a half away from being a real NFL prospect. But I'm sure a lot of teams are going to look at him this season. And there he goes. See, they're going to like a lot of film that they see from him.
That year and a half seems a long way away.
Yeah, I think Coach Gundy just wants to keep him around for a year and a half. I think that's what that one's all about, because in my mind, Hubbard's ready right now. I mean, look at the explosiveness, the vision, the balance that he has. He's just the complete package, and he's getting close to, in fact, he has surpassed his career high, I believe.
That's a 44-yard run, so he has 285 yards, and your math is correct once again. And the first-year offensive coordinator, Sean Gleason, got to be happy with what he's seen from his running back.
Yeah, said he's an analytics guy, and he has a little bit of a baseball background, and those numbers, apparently there's some truth in them.
Numbers don't lie. Brown. So we'll have to look and see what others have done around the nation today. With this 285 yards, a new career high for Hubbard.
It's also the highest total
in FBS, correct, this year
for this season. And if nobody went over 265, he's got the top 2.
Daquan Patton down for K-State, being a 10-2, and we'll step aside. Number 5 linebacker Daquan Patton went off under his own power. He's 5 tackles tonight. He led K-State in tackles a year ago, was 70. And as I mentioned, did go off under his own power. And speaking of power, Hubbard tonight, wow. That's all I can say right now.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. And after a slow start, they didn't use him in the whole first quarter, really, pretty much. He had the one big pop for 53 yards, but other than that, 3 or 4 other carries that were really not a big deal. But boy, they came around and they got the balance that they wanted, and then they gave it to the horse.
He has 22 carries, Hubbard does. As you look at yards allowed for K-State.
Doubled them up tonight.
Yes, they have. 70 yards after contact for Hubbard, who gets a little chance to add to that as he lowered the shoulder on Wayne Jones.
Hubbard's mixing power into his game now, too.
Is.
And, I mean, this is a perfect example of it. This is a powerful man. He's just going to lower the shoulder and say, back down, because I'm coming. Oh, nice pop.
First and goal for Oklahoma State as we're under 4 minutes to go.
I'm going to call a fade to Tylan Wallace at the top of the screen, try to get him on the board.
Hand off. Hubbard keeps on going. How about that?
Never mind, I'm going to give it to Hubbard.
There is a flag back outside the 10. He would not be denied, but let's see if it will stand. It will not.
Offense, 10-yard penalty.
It was good drama while it lasted for those few moments.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first offensive holding call on the game on this patchwork offensive line.
But how about this? I know this is coming back, but
it's still fun to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, he would not be denied. Goolsby is like,
put him on, right. He put him on some skates.
And the holding call brings it back. 6th penalty against the Pokes tonight. It's going to move the ball all the way back out to the 19.
Maybe now I run the Wallace play. Although it wouldn't be bad to give it to Hubbard again either.
They choose the latter of your choices. Just a couple of yards that time for Chuba.
Once again, Marcus Keys there to give him the hand to get him up. That guy just works. He plays with exuberance. He is, to me, the key to this offense other than the big three.
Chuba's coming off, and that's the reason you're hearing this crowd reacting the way they are. If that's the last we've seen of him, 24 carries, 280 yards. 289 yards, pardon me. I want to short a minute. This is LD Brown. A nice run for LD, who's spun down inside the 10 by Jonathan Alexander.
Cowboys have just imposed their will on this drive, and here's kind of an example of it. People are getting blocked. There's a hat on a hat. Nobody touches Brown until he's basically at linebacker depth. That means your offensive line is moving people.
3rd and goal.
They're in a huddle. They're milking the clock here.
Who's this team in the orange and black? It's a team that appears destined 2 minutes away from their first conference win.
Take a little timeout.
Oklahoma State would improve to 4-1 overall and 1-1 in conference. And for K-State, it would be their first loss. But we still have 1:54 to go. Here back here in Stillwater. What a night it's been for Chuba. Been a man possessed, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's ripped off runs of 84, 53, 44, 20, and 18, but none better than those where he's just running folks over. And that's what will get a coach and a football guy excited. Yeah, everyone loves to see those big, long breakaway runs, but when you're running dudes over like that, that's an extra deal.
Yeah, that last highlight you saw came back due to penalty. We had to show it again because it was still pretty impressive with the power of Chuba, who's almost in the end zone again. Stopped just short.
Them legs don't quit, and they pump pretty fast. And he just that generates his power because he's not that big. I mean, he's 207 is what they list him at. Coach said 210, but he carries a lot more than that when he's hitting people.
So here's the issue. It's 4th down, and I think the crowd wants the ball right back in the belly of Chuba here, who's on the cusp of 300 yards, but they're only at the 1-yard line.
It would be hard not to hand it to number 30 right now. I don't know. I'm going to say he's going to get this one.
Well, there's a false start.
Okay.
And so now that's going to cost him 5.
Oklahoma State calls it second timeout of the half. It's going to be 30 seconds in length.
No penalty. It is a timeout. But you knew where I was going with that.
Yeah, all of a sudden he can get over 300.
Yeah.
That's exactly where you were going. And I don't know that that's going to happen, but it doesn't matter. The numbers are irrelevant after watching his performance. He just took over this ball game.
Kansas State came in ranked 24th. Chris Kleiman was trying to become the first head coach in K-State history to start 4-0. And he has won 24 consecutive games as a head coach. You have to go back a last couple of years at North Dakota State. Last year they were unbeaten, 15-0, winning the FCS title. The year prior to that, they won the title. They were 14-1. The only loss was to South Dakota State November 4th of 2017. That's the last time he's lost, and as Ray pointed out with his math, it's been 694 days.
Yeah, thank you. And then, you know, I asked him about that. Well, you remember your last loss? And he goes, yeah, I remember all of my last losses, all my losses. Well, there's so few of them. Yeah, you do.
Chuba, by the way, does have 303 total yards when you include a couple of catches for 7 yards. But
this is a good decision by Coach Gundy. Why not get some points here? And if they're going to beat you, they got to have a real miracle to score 14 in the last 103.
So Amendola, that's a new career high for him. 4 field goals in a game. So he hits from 18 there, but also 21, 28, 25 prior to that. And he's a perfect 10 of 10 in field goal attempts on the season for the 50-year senior.
Mike Gundy told us this was going to be a real physical ball game. That he thought Kansas State had the most physical defense in the conference and play a physical style of ball. And he said he couldn't wait to see his guys answer that challenge because they wanted to get after it. They've been beaten by this squad 2 years in a row, and they've been physically manhandled. Oh, they turned the tables tonight.
Oklahoma State is going to go to Texas Tech next weekend. While Kansas State will be hosting Baylor.
Baylor's undefeated. Had a nice win today over Iowa State.
We're going to see them ranked next week?
They should be. They could take the place of Kansas State at 24. Oklahoma State might be up there themselves.
It's Brooks. Stopped at the 25. 58 seconds to play.
Receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down. That's number 36 is first. Unsportsmanlike foul for the game.
Called that on Mason Barta.
One timeout in 58 seconds. And down 13. Thompson lets it go far side, and the tackle of Jordan Brown will keep him in bounds at the 19. The clock rolls.
Kevin Henry getting in the action as a linebacker makes that play. Depth of this defense has been manifested tonight as well.
Fire across the middle, a little behind the intended receiver, Brooks, and incomplete. Well, Skylar Thompson had good memories the last couple of games against Oklahoma State. He won here 2 years ago. Went 10 for 13. Career high 3 touchdown passes, 204 yards, a 45-40 win over OSU, which was ranked 10th in the nation at that time. And then last year, 31-12 win at home on homecoming in Manhattan.
Well, this one will go in the bad memory bank here. Just 11 of 23 for 118 yards passing tonight for Skylar Thompson.
And third down's been a big problem tonight for K-State. Just 1 for 12.
They ran out of time.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Well, we mentioned at the top the narrative changed for K-State after they won on the road a couple of weeks ago at Mississippi State. Had an off week last week. What's the narrative now after tonight, Ray?
That Mississippi State was vastly overrated, and there's still some work to be done for this Wildcat football team. You know, I think they've ran into their first buzzsaw here. They did play well, and Coach Kleiman, he's not fooling himself. He told us there's still some questions that need to be answered for us. He felt they were tested pretty good against Mississippi State, but not to the extent they will be in the Big 12, and he's proved to be right.
Brown about a yard and a half short of the first down, but we're down to the last 20 seconds here in Stillwater. So K-State will fall for the first time under head coach Chris Kleiman. They'll be 3-1, 0-1 in conference
Yeah,
Oklahoma State 4-1, 1-1 in conference.
I say, Mark, that's it. They're not going to run another play, and that makes sense to me.
You never really got a feel the entire game that Kansas State was truly in it, did we?
No, not at all. I mean, there was one sign of life the first drive, but other than that, this was a thorough beatdown.
26-13, Oklahoma State beats 24th ranked Kansas State tonight.